Participation.
It's gotta be good.
If I get thrown out, I'll go live with my mom.
Mama, get up the tamales.
Welcome to the Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Chudley and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear. Respectfully.
Hola, me llamo James. Soy Cliffco Mortgage. That's Kevin Iglesias.
I'm Kevin Iglesias, associate broker. Today, in the building, it's $1 million episode. For the first time ever, we have the voice of the Hispanic community, NahRep, in the building. Allow us to introduce Laura, Sid, and Suci.
Hey!
Oh, so anticlimactic.
Jesus!
I thought I was gonna make
I couldn't even do it.
Sometimes they just go.
Today's the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month, so
Yes,
it's only
it
right
is.
to have you guys on the show.
Thank
and
you.
we're so honored to have you here. We're excited to talk about everything Hispanic and everything Latino. Right, James?
Correct.
C.
Correct.
I love it.
So, Laura, please introduce yourself, and then we'll go down the line.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, James. Thank
Hello.
you for having me. I'm Laura Guillen. I am with Signature Premier Properties, and I am on the Pedro team.
Awesome. Shout out to Jose.
And I'm
Shout out,
also the
Jose.
marketing director of NARUP.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me. Sidney Rodriguez with Keller Williams, a legacy team, and chapter president of NARUP Long Island chapter.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited. I am Suci, Pedro, the branch manager of the Own It team, now with Nationwide. I am also the current VP for NARUP Long Island.
Awesome. So break it down for those who don't know what NAREP is and what it stands for.
So NARUP is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and it just an educational platform to bring together Latinos who are in the real estate space, mortgage, whatever it is that leads to home ownership. It's to incentivize, to educate, and to have us elevate and grow our Latino community.
You know what's the amazing thing, too, is you guys are all from different companies.
Yeah.
And it's like all just coming together for a greater cause.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We've made some great friendships, and we are learning so much. There was so much that I didn't even understand about Hispanic home ownership, the different metrics, all these different avenues, educational purposes. NARUP has opened my eyes to that.
We'll touch base on that. Can you guys give like a brief introduction, like how long you guys been in the business, what you do, just to let our audience know?
Yes, I am the branch manager of the Own It team. I have been in the business for about 8 years. Honestly, I started as doing my own loans, and now I've moved into a different, more non-producing, just kind of growth and development and being out in the community, such as this. I am also on the board of Leukemia Lymphoma. I'm on the Latina Business Network, and NARUP is something else that I'm very passionate about.
It's a lot. That is a lot. And you deal with Jose at home.
And I'm a mom. Yeah.
That's the best job, by the way.
Yes.
You know,
It's the best,
being a parent.
and the hardest, but most
Oh,
rewarding.
yeah. I mean, you don't get paid for it, but you got to work overtime.
Yeah.
No pay. What about you, Sid?
Well, I've been in the business. I started in 2002 in Palm Beach County, Florida.
Oh, wow.
And then in 2008 with the crash, I came to New York for a family business. We had a multi-service type of business. And then I wanted to get my New York license, work on the snowbirds, going New York to Florida since I kind of lived it. I'm born and raised in Brentwood, New York. You know, I'm here obviously for the money because I'd rather be in Palm Beach County.
At least you're honest.
Hey, you didn't beat around the bush.
I'm a father of two. I have 2 boys, 21 and 18.
21. You look like you're 30.
Right.
Like,
That's what I
I know.
When he says he's a 21-year-old, I'm like,
Nah, thank you. So yeah, and then I became a realtor in Colombia in 2018. So that's why I joined Keller Williams for the international type of connection.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. And I run a team called the Legacy Team, and I work with other organizations as well. I support the Latina Business Network. I'm on a committee of Real Estate Boss Babes, which is another real estate networking group.
I love how you empower all the female organizations.
And you know, my heart is always been with the Latino community. So, you know, this chapter empowers sustainable home ownership. So I think, thank you for having us here to, give this voice out. And yeah, that's
No,
that's
it's an honor. We're glad to have you guys here. Just a quick question.
Sure.
You're licensed in Colombia. How's the real estate over there?
It's good. It's good. And there's been a shift there's a new president. So it depends who you ask. I like it because I've seen the growth. The area, we have a coffee farm there, so I just came back.
Colombian coffee is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I don't drink coffee. According to my wife, she says it's amazing.
You don't drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
I don't drink
I
coffee
don't
either.
trust people that don't drink coffee.
I haven't drank coffee. I drink vanilla ice. What's it called? Vanilla iced coffees. Those are good. I don't drink coffee, but I drink vanilla iced coffees. It tastes really good. But it tastes so good. It's
No,
not. I don't
that's
do it for the
coffee.
energy.
I don't
No,
do
no,
any.
it's
I don't
okay.
do any
But, like,
caffeine.
I don't drink it for the caffeine. I drink it
don't
because it
drink
tastes
soda?
good.
No,
No?
no,
Okay. No energy drinks?
no.
Okay.
So I was just there, and you drink coffee. I drink it black, just straight up,
Straight up.
straight up
Me
black.
too. I only drink it black.
And you lose. I felt like I ate a lot there, and I still lost weight. So it was.
The food is so organic.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing when I went
noticed
to El
the
Salvador. I ate and I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Just so organic.
difference. It's crazy, right?
There's no
It's
problem.
So is that the trick?
Probably. There's
Go to
nothing
another
else
country.
that's-
Gonna go to
Only
Whole
in
Foods now.
America.
Only Whole Foods now.
What about property value in Colombia? Like, is it how the prices over there?
I mean, they're anywhere from. I mean, you could get from 1,000, sort of like here, 1,000 to $1 million properties.
$1,000 though. Wow.
Yeah, for land, depending on where you want to go. If you want like una finca, which is like more rural, or do you want to be in the city? But let's say an average 2-bedroom condo in Pereira, let's say, a city like that, 100,000, 80,000,
Wow.
or decent.
We gotta buy some property in Colombia.
We know who to call.
Land is a big thing. Agricultural is a big move over there. A lot of European influence. You'll see like European investors, American investors.
Yeah.
Yeah, the country keeps growing. I think all of the countries that we're with are growing because there was always that time in maybe 20 years ago, or you had a lot of immigrants come here. They learn a lot of things. Those ideas get implemented there, and you see the growth.
Yeah, it's true. What about you, Laura? Laura, not Lauren.
Not Lauren. Laura. Laura.
Not even Laura.
Laura. Laura's here today.
It's all Spanish today.
Yeah. So I've been in the business for about 26 years.
26 years.
No, I'm kidding.
26 years.
I know it's because I'm Colombian. No, so I started in 2018. I started real estate in 2018. I actually started in real estate and mortgages simultaneously. I met somebody who was doing both, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll do both too. Like that seems like a good idea, right? You can do both for the clients. So since then, I've been doing both, and it's been a fun ride for sure, but it's also been a love triangle between real estate and mortgages. So I ultimately decided I love real estate way more. I love real estate. Mortgages is fun. The numbers is fun. The problem solved.
Not as fun.
The
It's
problem
not as sexy.
It's not.
Loans are not sexy. I'm sorry.
That's so
sitting
nice
behind
of
a
you,
desk
Kevin.
all day. Sitting behind a desk all day.
We get to have some fun. We
Yeah,
get to
we do.
go out,
We do.
meet you guys. Come
We
on.
do,
Just a little
but
bit.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of
Papers,
sure you're up to date
numbers.
with your guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this market with the rates.
Where they
Ever
are.
changing.
With the rate changing.
Ever changing things, yeah. So I decided to just go all in on real estate ever since letting mortgages go. But I have built a really great network of other professionals where I'm starting to just reciprocate the business with. And that was another hard thing. It's like, how do I share the wealth? So I had to make a decision, but it was the right decision. I just recently joined the Pedro team, which was another...
Congrats.
Congrats. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Shout out to our
We need
boy.
more synthetic.
Yes.
That was another big shift in my career because I've been a solo agent for so long. So to join a team was kind of nerve-wracking for sure, but I'm really happy to be there. I've been there for less than a month, and I'm already seeing the growth.
You know what's crazy is that we had Jose here, and he didn't build a team yet.
Right.
In that episode, he's
I
like, I'm
remember
thinking
that.
about building a team. And then it just all
That was
happened.
a year ago,
Right.
right?
And we talked
It was
about him
this
coming back
year.
on again to
That was
talk
this
about the
year.
building
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that.
And then I just sent him a DM. I was like, bro, I'm so happy for you. Like, that's amazing. All the success.
Yeah, so back in January, he took me out to lunch, and he said, like, when he told me, he's like, oh, I just want to get to know you. Don't worry, I'm not, because he told me at the lunch, he's like, I want to build a team, but don't worry, I'm not trying to, like, poach you. And now he's admitting that he was trying to. But apparently I was so nervous at the lunch, he just dropped it all together. So, but yeah, it's been 9 months in the works trying to get me over to Team Pedro. So
that's awesome.
Well, it happened.
It happened. Persistence and consistency.
Yep, it's key. Definitely is key. Mm-hmm. So let's dive into like the Hispanic community, right? Because we make a large population of home ownership in the U.S., which I feel like a lot of people aren't aware of.
We're at 48.4%.
That's almost half.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's almost half.
It's amazing, and for us, we all do realize, like, I come from an immigrant family, so home ownership, it's you have the American dream once you're a homeowner, and that's like that for so many families.
Yeah.
It's true. Same here. My parents immigrated here, and we would always jump from apartment to apartment. And then when they finally bought a house, I was like, wow, like this is different.
It's stable.
Yeah, it's stable. It's different.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the best community, but it was still a house.
It's home ownership.
Yeah,
Same
definitely.
thing here. My parents are both immigrants, and then in 2009, my parents bought a house.
Well,
Hey.
could have been a good time.
Huh?
Yeah.
Probably a good time because now we see those prices.
Oh, right,
So
right.
That's another thing is when they purchase, and everybody's freaking out about the rates, but the rates have been high since,
Forever.
Yeah.
They've always
8%, 9%, 10%. So it's like 5-6% is not much of an,
No.
Well, you also have to think about it. It's all relative. People are comparing it to a year and a half ago, right, when they were in 2s and 3s, but they were never meant to see that. If COVID didn't happen, that would have never
Ever
have
happened.
been
Yeah.
an issue.
Exactly.
So the rates have regulated themselves, and everyone's up in arms. But in reality, this is what it always should have been.
it's normal.
Yeah.
I always
Yes,
tell,
yes, this
I
is
always tell
normal.
people you got to get out that mindset. We're not in that, we're not in those rates anymore. That's just
We're getting back to the norm.
exactly. But 48%,
48.4.
48.4. That's a lot. That's a lot.
you know what's crazy? That I've realized that in different cultures they kind of have different strategies kind of, where instead of saving money in the bank, they buy real estate to save up money. So instead of like them having like a checking account or a savings account with a bunch of money in it, their savings account is real estate. So it's like, that's why I feel like immigrants are constituting like a large percentage of home ownership because they already have that mindset built in. Like,
Because a lot of them are landowners in their own country, so they come here and they work, and they don't own it. I have uncles that have farms upon farms, so to them, it's always been a pride to say, hey, I own this land, and that's the same mindset that they come here with. Eventually, I will own a piece of this too.
yeah.
That's very true that you said. A lot of Hispanic homeowners that I meet have always owned land in their community. So it's amazing. It's amazing to see. What's one of the biggest things you guys see with the Hispanic? Because I feel like they don't really understand the process of buying a home.
No. I can tell you that the majority of my business has been built on Hispanic families that we've helped, and we continue to do it. And a lot of them don't understand. You've experienced it too, I'm sure.
Of course.
When you explain to them large deposits, they're like, "Why can't I do that? Have a side hustle? You can't.
I
You have
can't
to
bring
be able to-
cash. I can't bring the cash that I'm
I
saving.
have
lot
my
of cash,
cash at
too.
home for the down payment. Can I give it up on contract signing?
And
No, you
a
can't.
big misconception, still is in not only the Latino community, but they think you need 20% down to purchase
Very
a home.
true.
Okay.
Very true.
And when we educate with FHA and
There's so many other programs.
conventional and different programs,
There's
that kind
3%.
of pops, helps out. Even some certain ITIN loans, or sometimes purchasing as a foreign national. Just having different options out there. I think helps a lot.
I think that being in the industry, a lot of people who might be watching this who might be in the industry, I feel like we know so much about the industry that we don't know that other people don't know as much as we do. So it's like when we're posting things on social media and stuff like that, we might be posting something, somebody might have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We can also go back to the basics and be like, listen, you don't need 20%. Like, it has to be said because some people might not even know the
No.
beginnings about it.
A lot of these families, he's exactly right. A lot of these families, when you tell them, you can do a 3% conventional, they're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You can. And there's so many programs out now that are so beneficial to different families. There's so many grants, and there's so many different avenues. When you sit down with the right people, you'll be able to have a guidance and know like you experience it. Now you're at Clifton, you have an array of programs, and it's different when you have non-QM. You know how many families come in, they make a lot of money, they have their businesses, but they don't do their taxes correctly. Non-QM, that's what non-QM is there for.
I feel like that's a lot of the Hispanic community that don't,
non-QM
on
is
paper,
very
like
popular
tax-wise,
right now.
that's where like the biggest.
There's just so many different avenues like that you can take with it, and it's not going to go too far into what non-QM is. We'll say that for another episode, but like non-QM just basically being a way for somebody who doesn't show all their money in taxes, doesn't have a W-2 job, owns their own business, shows less than what they actually make, using like an asset depletion program, P&L program, or bank statement deal, or a debt service coverage ratio deal. Reach out to Suci or I to elaborate on that, but just using that to get into a home. So if you're watching this and you don't know about that, it's a great new program and it's growing really quickly.
And we're very fortunate. For a while, non-QM didn't exist, so these people didn't have attainability. And now it's here.
Yeah.
So it's a time to take advantage of these programs.
I think another great thing with our organization especially is that there's so many, not just real estate or lenders as, a part of it. We have a lot of people on the board, on the committee, sponsors supporting us. And we're all getting together. We're always talking about what we're talking about here today. The community, what our community needs, what our community's lacking. And one thing for sure, like going on the taxes, imagine if that person that was doing that Latino's taxes said, hey, are you thinking about buying a house anytime soon?
Yeah.
Right.
So
because
true.
right, they're doing wham bam, thank you, man, next.
Yeah.
They're not asking, proper questions, and they're not helping set this their client up for success in the future. So then when they come to you guys, you're like, yeah, you filed these all wrong a month ago, but you want to buy a house? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta, either you gotta go amend these or whatever or wait another year or whatever the case is.
What's excuse me, what's sad that I see in the Hispanic community too is that we're very loyal people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the Hispanic,
Blindly.
they get taken advantage of. And it's so sad to see. Like, just speaking from experience, like my parents, when they purchased their home, they got taken advantage of. But of course, I was so young, I wasn't in the business. But after, it's like, wow, like I never want anybody to feel what they felt. And that's why I educate and help, the Hispanic community as much as I can. Nice. But it's insane. I see people, even like on Craigslist scams, like it's majority of the times it's Hispanic family that got ripped off.
Yeah, when I'm meeting with potential Hispanic buyers and I get to the part where, where you get the best pushback in the beginning, like, did you get pre-approved? No, I don't want to yet. Why? Well, why not? A lot of them sometimes like, well, I don't want to pay for that. Who told you have to pay for your pre-approval?
No, some people are still charging
Yeah,
for
I've heard of that.
Unfortunately.
And I make
It's
sure
illegal.
to tell my team, I'm like, make sure they understand that if they shop around, no one can charge them. This is free.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that someone can charge you for is a credit report, but nobody does that.
No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another
Which is
thing
not
though,
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
$26.95.
I was helping a Hispanic buyer, and he's like, okay, do I give you the money now? I'm like, no, what do you mean? You don't pay me. He's like, oh, the other guy I was dealing with said that, once we find something, I got to pay him.
Oh, gosh.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, no, don't ever speak to that guy again. Like, block his number.
It's crazy the things we hear out
The
there.
things
It's
that
nuts.
that sometimes some of the borrowers, or they've had a bad experience, somebody, you did my cousin's loan, but, I worked with somebody, it didn't work out, I spent $10,000, and I'm like, who'd you pay $10,000 to?
That's messed
They
up.
were helping me fix my credit, do this and that, and nothing ever happened. I'm like,
That's a lot
what
of
is
money.
wrong with the world that you can't trust your own people?
It's very short-sighted because sometimes, like, people take advantage of certain individuals, but they're going to find out at one point.
Right.
And the thing
Absolutely.
is, once you take advantage of somebody, not saying that you should take advantage of anybody at all, but, like, if somebody were to take advantage of a person once, they're never getting a referral down the line from them. If you help somebody take care of them, even if, like, they're in a situation where they don't know everything, if you still help them and you do a good job, they're going to send you so many people down the line because, immigrant communities, they know a lot of people and they're very,
stick together.
they're loyal to a good part in that sense too because if you do well by them, I'm generally speaking right now, but they're going to give you a lot of business.
Times.
So you got to take care of them.
There's a landscaper who I helped him with his own years ago, and he's actually the go-to. He's like the godfather in his family. So every time somebody's buying a house, he goes, Suci, my cousin's coming to your team. Who can they sit down with? And we are at their 9th
Wow.
transaction with the same guy because if you do, everybody goes to
That's
him.
what I'm saying. They're a very loyal community. They just have just have to do right by them. You should do right by everybody, regardless.
We got to make money, but like just be like responsible.
If you
the right
do
thing.
if
Do
you
the right
thing,
thing. Do the right thing.
The
If you
money
do right, the
follows.
money comes.
The
Exactly.
money
Of
always
course,
follows.
100%.
Exactly.
And I've noticed too with like the Latino community, she's talking about like landscapers. My business has shifted more into the commercial side, and I think it needs more Latino agents in the commercial field. Because for example, just to tell a story, I had a roofer who was paying like $15,000 a month in rent. A few years later, it took a few years, but shifted my business a little bit into commercial space. Got him a warehouse. He's building the warehouse. Now he's paying his own, building, and his growth and his mindset changed. And the more there's Latinos that aren't educated in the residential, and it's even more like in the commercial field. And a lot of Latinos are entrepreneurs, sort of like
Go-getters.
from the beginning,
businesses.
So that's a field that I would like to see more Latinos in.
The commercial space?
The commercial side, yeah.
Yeah, I've always
Commercial
wanted to
lending.
learn about the commercial space.
Let's
It's
do
just,
it. I've
Gotta take
been
you to
dabbling
lunch.
a little bit. Yeah, let's do it. But I think it's needed. Like you said, honesty, integrity, just educating. There's a need for that out there.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is like converting those renters into buyers, because a lot of the Hispanic community don't realize like they can buy. They just
Yeah.
don't have that information.
Absolutely, they have the money. Think about how much money you need to get into a house. Or rent an apartment. A lot of times it's like $10,000 from your first month's rent, security deposit,
Broker's fee.
It's almost $10,000. That could be a down payment depending on the area that you're purchasing in.
It is. It could be.
With
Depending
the
on the
similar
purchase
monthly
price.
payment, we see what's going on with these rental prices right now. They're crazy.
They're high. They're so
They're
high.
crazy.
Like,
Rent is through the roof. I mean, I read something online, like a New York City apartment is like $5,000 now.
Yeah, I read that on Bloomberg.
That's nuts.
average 3-bedroom, we're seeing like 3,000. I'm sorry, 3-bedroom.
3,000 out here?
Yeah, right. 3,000.
That's a mortgage.
That is a mortgage.
It
That is a mortgage. That's a lot.
And the market has shifted a little bit. If you guys want to touch base into that a little bit, as to like current market update, what's going on right now? You want to start
Of
off?
course.
Well, I do feel like, I'm sure we all see on TV, we see the rates, we think that, oh my God, the houses, they were a little inflated. We're not going to pretend it wasn't, right? But at the end of the day, things are shifting slowly, and I do see that there are more people like VA loans getting accepted, or FHA, where before it had to be conventional, a lot more money, and there were like 7 different offers on property. The market is still busy. It's shifting depending on the area you're in. But I do see that a lot more offers are being accepted where they weren't. Like, I love veteran loans are one of my favorites, and it actually bothered me when a lot of them weren't able to get into a home. They earned that right towards that loan, and they were being judged upon the fact because it's they're not
enough
putting a
money
lot of skin
down.
in the game,
Yeah.
technically. But they did.
They did.
All owed our freedom to them, so they did. They
Yeah,
did
they
exactly what
did.
they were supposed to do. It makes me extremely happy to see those loans being accepted again.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that the days of waiving everything is pretty much
I didn't
gone.
love that either.
I
Yeah.
hated that. It
Yeah.
put knots in my stomach to try to go to my buyers like, do you want to waive the inspection? Do you want to waive the appraisal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just spoke about that at a seminar yesterday, because even like I would say 95% of my business is like listings. So, but I was looking for a second property to buy, and every time I would send the offer, they'd email me back. It's like, are you
Waiving
okay with
anything.
waiving your inspection and paying over $20,000 over ask? I would just be like, hell no. And he would call me. He's like, bro, it's just like, you're not going to get the property. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. He's like, you're acting like a buyer right now. I was like, I am.
You are a buyer, yeah.
I am a buyer.
Yeah, I really feel like it's just getting back to the norm of what it was before COVID. And then obviously, I think something new is going to be ushered in. But yeah, people, agents, loan officers, and consumers alike really have to change their mindset. 2020 to early this year is gone. It's not. It's gone.
Different. I see a lot of
past
price
us.
reductions. Don't get me wrong, the market's still busy.
It's still
Long
busy.
Island is a very
100%.
busy
Still
market.
hot.
And I know it might be different in the city, it might be different in the boroughs, but Long Island is a very hot market. There's still an abundance of buyers and not enough homes.
Yeah. So just because we're saying these things doesn't mean that and this is case by case situation, right? But it's not a buyer's market. You can't go in there and offer X amount significantly under and then nitpick the house apart. Like the seller still has multiple offers on the table.
Yeah, I mean, look, the shift was bad. You breaking things over there, Suci?
Sorry, my words.
The shift was coming, right?
Yes.
And I would tell people, look, if you get as many listings as possible before the shift comes, because things are going to change drastically. Like, I have a couple of new agents on my team. They're like, this listing has been up for 2 weeks. What's going on? There's nothing going on. I'm like, we're feeling the shift. This is a normal market. I used to do open houses.
You guys got used to, it's been on the market 5 days. We have 20 offers.
That's what I said. I was like, I got so spoiled during that time period because you put a listing up, gone. Yeah. It's like you email back highest and best. Now you're calling the buyers agents like, hey, did your buyers like it?
Right. Feedback.
You knew
oh yeah, of course, 100%. I would tell the people on my team like, you're gonna have to get used to that. Days on the market are a lot longer than what they were before the shift came. So
yeah,
but that's normal real estate activity.
Normal,
exactly.
Normal.
Can you imagine though how amazing that's the time that they came into this business?
Right.
So they experienced the high, and now they're
like, what is going on right now? The world's falling apart.
Isn't even the low.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. These past 2 years, and I don't say this maliciously at all, but it's true. It's made all of us very lazy. Things have gone very quick, and we haven't been able to touch upon our skills because we haven't needed any skills to sell real estate. You're going into these listing appointments, and they're like, how much can you get me for a house? Like, a lot. Where do I sign? You didn't have to, there wasn't, buyers. If anything, we struggled a lot with our buyers. But as far as negotiating and things like that, it's been lost these past 2 years. So the new agents coming in, they're just gonna have to really get on.
You got to work
training.
now.
You
You got to work.
and learn these skills. These people skills, negotiation skills, how to find properties for your buyers, how to help your sellers market their properties and get their properties out there to as many eyes as possible. Pricing properties correctly. That's an issue that we're falling into right now. Like, where do we price it?
Yeah.
That's one thing. So like before the shift, hit us, we were taking listings and we knew they were overpriced, but we were still getting offers on the overpriced listings, and they were still selling. And now you can't like list a property that's
overpriced at all. No one's coming to it. People are not coming to it.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's not the same anymore. So just like you said, just getting to know what the fair market value is of the community and put in, take into consideration that the shift is here.
Put in the work.
You got to put in the work.
There's no substitute for putting in the work.
You got to put in the work. But so let's touch base on, activities you guys do, events, because you guys had an event yesterday, no?
Yesterday we were a guest. It was a meet and greet with us, the board of NARUP. But
we didn't get an invitation, so.
I'm not.
We were guests.
We were guests.
We
were invited.
So it wasn't our
wasn't
event.
our
We were
event.
invited.
Yeah, it wasn't our event. We were guests, and it was more for us to.
I bought my own ticket.
We
bought our own tickets.
Ours is October 13th.
Yeah,
which
that's
our
you're
next
a
event.
guest. You're a
where
guest.
you are on our top producer panel.
That's amazing. I'm honored to be speaking.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
We were
thank
so
you.
excited.
No, I was honored. I got the message, and I was laying next to my wife. I was like, oh, shoot, I'm going to be speaking. I was
As
like,
a
hopefully it's
top
not all in
producer.
Spanish. No, I can speak
If you
Spanish
want to
only.
speak some Spanish, you can, but
Of course.
you can speak English there too. It's not. Some of the people that come to our events aren't always Spanish, and it's okay. We welcome everybody.
And that's what we really are trying. I'm finding a lot of pushback on that, with my referral partners or friends in the business. I'm not Latino. So what? It does not matter. Our goal right now is to raise awareness for this organization and get it going, get it strong.
To grow our membership base.
grow our membership base. But no, you don't have to be Latino to be a part of this at all.
So what you're saying is,
you can be a member.
I can come. Okay.
Yeah, come.
Everyone's welcome.
Everybody's
Everyone-
welcome.
everyone's
Everybody's welcome.
But that's a common misconception that people would. I mean, I guess it's kind of normal because it's NahRep Long Island. And
Yeah, absolutely.
They figure like it's just a Hispanic community thing, but it's open to everybody.
It's open to everybody. We are obviously highlighting what we're here to do, right? The Hispanic, Latino community, home ownership, and education. But everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of an organization would we be if we alienate?
And let's
We
just-
can't do
Oh,
it.
go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Let's just look at our culture right now, the Latino culture. Not everybody, but a lot of people know who Bad Bunny is. There's people who are not Latino and love listening to Bad Bunny. Everybody loves our food, our music, our people. It's inclusive. We're an inclusive community, and also too, Latinos are not just one race. We're such a colorful group
All
of
different
people.
shades.
We're all
Absolutely.
different shades, all different walks of life. Stemming from most of the Americas, right? 2/3 of the Americas. to the Caribbeans, Europe. Like, we are like people of the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Were you going to say something, Sid?
Crossed my mind. I
Sorry.
it's okay.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah, it'll come
Yeah.
back.
And all right, so I'm going to speak on a personal level. Before I got into real estate, I always had this image of what a real estate agent should look like. And it was like the American look, like, you know what I mean? Like the...
You didn't picture you,
No,
right? You didn't
not at
picture
all.
you.
No.
No, I mean,
Absolutely.
without a suit on, I have so many, like, I'm covered from so many tattoos, neck, everything, like, fully covered. So I was really insecure about getting into real estate because I didn't see anybody who looked like me, spoke my language, or had a similar background as me. So before I got into business, I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
Right.
And that was something that I had to get over and break down in my mental barrier and say, no, I can definitely do this. You know,
Right.
I can be neck and neck or be in the same position, same rooms with these people.
And you know
You
how
deserve
many
to be
people
there.
actually feel that way, depending on what area they're in, but they don't see themselves, so they don't think that it's a real possibility.
Yeah. Like I was telling Sidney, so Sidney and Suci reached out to me when they were developing the board to invite me to be on the board. And Sidney started bringing me along to a lot more events to, to start building our network and getting us out there. He was bringing me to more Latino events. And these past years that I've been in real estate, yeah, I can totally relate. I'm a Latina, I'm a woman, and it's just not that much of that in this business, right? In New York. So he started bringing me around. I'm like, wow, this is what I was missing, was this representation to be like, look at Suci, look at other women, other men and Latinos in this space that aren't. I was born here. I'm lucky. I was born in this country. There are people that came to this country, didn't speak the language, and they're doing the damn thing in our industry. So that's just really, I can relate to you. That was like a belief and an insecurity that I had to get over, and I'm very grateful again for Sidney and that NahRep is pushing this across the board.
That's what I love about
Absolutely.
NahRep. That's why I said we have to have these. We have to have them on. And what better day than on Hispanic Heritage
On
Month,
the
first day.
September 15th to October 15th.
October to 15th. But it's such an amazing thing having a platform, being able to give voices to everybody. Because again, when we were looking at the podcast space, we didn't see anybody who looked like us either having a podcast.
Yeah.
And having a big podcast with a big influence. We were like,
no.
that's very important to us.
You guys do this so well, too. I really enjoy
appreciate
your
it.
podcast. So we're so honored that you guys wanted us here.
Yeah, of course. Of
And
course.
the cool thing too, it's a different synergy of different companies that get together for like one cause. And lenders, attorneys.
Oh, we have so many different
So many
people.
different.
We have CPA.
people.
Lou was one of our speakers for our first panel event.
Lou Soriano.
Yes, he was
Shout out to Lou.
wonderful. Everyone loved him. He was so informative. And we have all different types of people. Anything that we can include that will bring you value, that can help the Latino community, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Let's touch base on the not so sexy side.
Tell us.
There was a huge crackdown of, agents that were discriminating towards certain people of color, Hispanic, and it's so sad to still see that going on.
It is.
It just happened recently too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw that on Newsday, and I think the people that do it just get a slap on the wrist, like the fines they pay. I say that most of the people are only sorry once they get caught.
Yeah, they're not really sorry.
And if it's just a slap on the wrist, it's going to continue and continue to happen. You
Yeah,
know
like
what I
some
mean?
of, one day I just went down that rabbit hole and I watched the video of that report. And some of these things that the agents were saying, like flat out saying, I'm like, are you serious? Like, and they thought it was a safe space because they were talking to somebody that looked like them. So they thought it was a safe space. I'm like, you serious? Like that's really your mentality and you're driving people towards certain neighborhoods or keeping them away from certain neighborhoods still in today's day and age with everything that's going on in the world?
You know what's crazy? It's that we know it's there, and in our industry, we understand that it might still be there, but to kind of hear it, because I saw the videos too, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like to see the behavior and, this is the list of homes that we think are great for you and your family. This will, like, how do you look somebody in the eye and tell them that's what you think is the best for that person?
Right, and then on the
When
flip
you're not being
side,
impartial.
on the flip side, because this was all orchestrated, they're sending in someone else, and that same person, that same agent that was saying, like, don't go there, they're now like, oh yeah, that's an amazing neighborhood, you would love it there.
Yeah, and look, I'm not bringing this up to bring any negativity, but this is the real
No, it's a reality
mess
of
of
it.
real
It's the
estate.
reality of it.
Yeah.
And it's something that a lot of people don't touch base on. But
If we ignore it, it's going to keep going on. We can't ignore it. We have to confront it.
Exactly. We have to make everybody know that we are aware. And we hope that as time goes on, this becomes less and less. But the reality of things are, right, there's a lot of people that still do it.
You know, it's there, and you do this long enough, you feel it, you know, a lot.
I felt
You
it.
know?
I felt it. I've been to
But-
appointments. I don't mean to call you off. I've been to appointments where they're like, "You're Kevin?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." You know?
Yeah.
My name is Sidney, you know, Sidney Rodriguez. That's my whole name. So when you know, the name Sidney isn't really
Hispanic.
yeah. So I get it often. But I look at it like this: the game needs us. You know,
I love that.
the game needs us because it needs people that aren't going to maybe take that personal and just say, look, if this is happening, then people like us need to represent more and not back down to whatever.
We're
type of
elevating our
thing.
community. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And through education, I think the more we educate, the less of the negativity can happen.
Yeah. You guys can go on our website or go to our Instagram page and follow us, NahRep Long Island.
We do.
Good, thank you.
Thank
She's
you.
our marketing director. See, she's always on it.
So, and then our in our bio is our link to our website. On our website, we have the SHHR report, Hispanic Home Ownership Report for 2021. So, if you guys want to just have some reading material, there's so many statistics, so many things in that report that all of us, we're like, whoa. This is absolutely when you look
We
at
went to a
it.
meeting where they were going through the entire report, and the facts.
I
and all
still
these
get the chills
It's
thinking about it.
amazing.
Share that information if you could, please. 'Cause
listen.
we'd love to.
So yeah, I could give
You have it on
you
you?
one
It's
stat
amazing.
I could give you is, for example, 93% of Latino under 18 are U.S. born. So the Latino community is a young community. I think the average age is 26,
Yes.
under 40.
Correct.
So that's the age. So another one
So
is
that's who's going into the workforce. Those
Yeah.
are who's going to be buying homes. That's what our future
Driving
looks
our
like.
economy next. Yeah.
Well,
And then the next one, I think we make up 51% of the workforce in America.
It's amazing.
More
When
than
I saw that,
half.
51%
More than
of the
half.
workforce.
With the new policies that have been put in place, I think we've lost 28% of our workforce, our potential workforce, because of the new policies that have been put into place. So
And next week, NARUP is doing our national convention in San Diego, where they've partnered up with Latitude. And some of the topics that they tap into are, for example, Hollywood and the way Latinos are portrayed. They don't highlight, for example, Kevin, the successful real estate professional, or top-level CEOs and things like that. They just did a remake of Father of the Bride with Andy Garcia, I think is the lead actor, just to kind of show Latino in a different light. I know there's different ones that are good, like, for example, Modern Family shows like a good mix. But, we're portrayed a lot as drug dealers
Dramatic.
or dramatic stuff. So it also shows a light, like when I went to NARUP on the national convention, how you don't have to be a sports entertainment figure or a singer or a movie actor to make it big. You could make it big. We met realtors that are doing 400 units a year, and
You can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And we met, when we went to this, it was amazing. I realized I was like, I want to be part of this organization. I came back super pumped. So we sat in a bunch of different seminars and conferences, and there was one that touched me the most. I was sitting right next to Sidney, and there was this realtor. Her name is Alicia, I believe. She's in Texas, and she did $2 billion in sales.
what?
Wow.
Yes.
My gosh.
And she
Big
was
numbers,
saying
yeah.
that she didn't understand. She goes, it's all about your relationships and the people that surround you, because she goes, I thought I was making it. She's like, I lived in a penthouse. I had all my fancy Louis Vuittons, every designer bag. And she sat on a way to a conference with one of the founders of NARUP. His name is Gary. And Gary started asking her true questions. What was her net worth? How many properties did she own? Did she own the building she was in? And she goes, I didn't know any of those answers. When she went home, she spoke to her CPA, and she goes, I need to know it. She goes, I need to know all these things. She realized she was in severe debt.
Wow.
Even after making all this.
Insa-
Yeah, so then she's like, I had to, take a step back, reassess what I'm doing. And she's like, I sold my penthouse. I downsized. It was embarrassing because I was super excited showing everybody my penthouse, but it had to be done. She now owns every building that her offices are in.
Wow.
She has a true net
Amazing.
worth.
yeah.
Wow.
And I'm a big shoe lover. I told Sidney, I'm like, no more shoes, Sidney. I'm going out.
Yeah, that's touching on that. That we're doing as well with NARUP is building generational wealth, is teaching our communities and anybody else who would like to listen, because we're all inclusive, is building generational wealth, having conversations with your family, for me as a child of an immigrant and same situation, I bounced around from apartment to apartment before we finally got a home. Money was taboo and money was scarce. So we had a very different image of money growing up. So we need to start changing it. We need to have these conversations with our families, with our kids, plan for the future. Sometimes I speak to my cousins or my friends, and I have these conversations, and people just get very uncomfortable with it and would rather not. We have to start. We have to start
Absolutely.
educating and getting
conversation.
comfortable with money. Generational wealth is a thing, and it's for everybody. It's for everybody.
And even real estate, educating beyond us is talk to a CPA, talk to a financial planner, talk stocks, start talking stocks, start talking, a little bit of everything to help build that wealth, and that's the type of relationships we try to make. And when you come to one of our events, is putting you in that room with these type of people, and organically, if we have a lot of great people there with good energy, opportunity will create by itself.
Absolutely. And what I find even more amazing is, we host these events in order for it to benefit everybody, right? But to see it come to fruition, to see the relationships being built and transcending that one meeting, it's really so fulfilling.
I know. I mean, it's amazing what you guys are doing. We definitely support everything you guys are doing. We're excited about the event. Where's that event going to be taking place?
It's going to be at the Bijou Atrium. Do you know Bijou, the restaurant on 110? Ruby Plaza?
No.
Used to be the Jewel.
Where Jewel.
Oh, so that's in Melville, huh?
In Melville. So there's an atrium
right
in that building.
On the corner, right off the LIE.
That's a really nice place.
It is. It's going to be great.
Nice.
We have an expectation of about 100 guests. We have an amazing top producer panel, which you're a part of, and we have.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're going to start highlighting who our speakers will be. Some of them are secret. We're sharing you today.
Thank you.
The official announcement.
Yes,
Yes,
the
that's
official
awesome.
announcement. And Laura does amazing with our marketing. She's going to start putting out flyers and getting it going.
And also anybody that's listening to the podcast, when is this going to be out? If you don't mind me asking.
This Sunday.
Okay, awesome. So we have time. So it's going to be October 13th at the Bijou, and we are looking for sponsorship opportunities. So if you like what we're talking about today and you resonate with our message in any way possible, and you want to support us, reach out to
anybody on
the board.
Anybody on the board.
DM us on Instagram. We'll get back to you, and we'll let you know how you can
We
support.
have an amazing board. The rest of them aren't here, but we have Gail Flores, who is our
Government Affairs.
Director.
We have Rocio, our parliamentarian. Andrea Paredes, who's our secretary. She keeps us in line. She sends out a calendar telling us when the next meetings are. And our past president, her name's Andrea Baruca. She's the reason we're all here.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was relentless in recruiting us. Hey, you guys have to be a part of this. I didn't know what it was. I met her. She came to one of my events, and she goes, at the time, it was 3 years ago, she was the president. And I didn't know what it was. So then I sat down with her, and I was still like, oh. But then as I went to more meetings, I'm like, no, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of seeing other Latino people and engage and grow our community.
And my goal is to leave this growing and running. So we're always looking for...
We want to leave it better than where it started.
Better than where we started. And anyone that joins, we want to see them grow with us, that from the day one to 1 year from then, that their business, their personal lives, health, everything just in a better position.
And Laura, like Laura said, we have our Instagram. There's a link to our page. You can become a member there. There's different types of memberships. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to anybody.
We're
We'll
looking
definitely
for
plug it
board
in.
of director, future board of directors, anyone that wants to work a committee that wants to make a difference, they're more than welcome.
That's amazing. We'll plug all that information in. One thing I want to touch base on is you guys have tremendous success. Is what keeps you guys humble, right? Because you see a lot of individuals that once they get a little bit of money, like you said, they start shopping, buying, and
My mom keeps me on my toes on the regular. I'm a grown woman. I am going to be completely honest. A lot of my success is thanks to her. I do what I do because she helps me with my kids. We have 2 kids, and it's hard. Jose is also busy. But my mom reminds me to keeps me humble. If I have an event coming up and I haven't told her, she's like, well, and I said, oh, Ma, can you watch the kids? You didn't tell me. You're telling me today, your event's today? No. She reminds me.
I love that.
What about you, Sid?
Having something and then losing something and then coming back. The up and down
I
of life.
felt that. I felt that.
Yeah.
What about you, Laura?
So I'm young. I'm 26. I'm still, new to the business. I'm a baby. Just life experiences. I'm still growing and learning and going through growing pains and just taking a step. Because yes, all this stuff, the money, the trying to keep up with the Joneses, it all takes a toll, right? It all takes a toll for sure. And then being blinded by these things like, oh my God, that person did this much in sales. That person's driving this car. They got that bag. It does, you almost feel like I'm not doing something right. Like, what am I doing wrong?
The social media pressure.
The social media pressure. Yeah, the pressure. But, and I'm very fortunate to have an amazing relationship with my family. I'm a big advocate for therapy, just plugging it in. I just came from therapy today. So that helps a lot, too, with keeping me grounded, keeping me focused on what's important. And the material is not important. It's not. The material is like how she was explaining with that realtor from Texas. She made $2 billion in sales
volume.
But what the hell did that mean? And she had nothing to show for it. She was severely in debt. And I commend her. Like, she is amazing because she sold her penthouse after showing it off, and she was living well above her means, and then she lived well below her means, and she made that lifestyle switch, and that's not easy at all to have to do it. Like how you said, to have it all and then to lose it, it's hard. But I think having the right network of people around you to help keep you focused, because if you stick around the people that are buying the nice cars and splurging on this and the third, you're going to want to keep up with that, And
everybody has different responsibilities, too.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody walks a different path. So just because somebody's doing something, you don't know. Maybe they have all this, but they're in $1 million in debt. Or they have so much debt, but they don't show it. So everybody has a different walk.
No one's going to talk about their negatives, their setbacks, their failures. No one's talking about that on Instagram,
And Instagram, it's kind of like the life that people want to live.
Yeah.
So it's all
perception.
It's not really what happens behind closed doors.
No.
Yeah, and people like my family, like, oh, you're having so much fun. I'm like, I'm having fun, and I get that's how it looks on social media. But at the time, at the networking event we were invited to last night, we were golfing, having fun, eating fajitas and all that stuff. But we're also there consciously
there for NARUP.
Yeah, we're also there consciously with a bigger objective, a bigger mission for not just for myself or for himself or for all, like, collectively.
It's as a community. This is community. To us, this is bigger than us. It's not about each individual, what we do. No, it's growing this community together and being the force that we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, I support everything you guys are doing. Just got to stay grounded no matter how much success you get.
Mm-hmm.
I got into the business, I started by myself, and now I have a team of 7 agents. And just like
that's amazing.
Just real estate has changed my life. Like, and just being able to help my family whenever they need, I feel like that just means so much to me. I don't care about the materialistic things.
Isn't that so invaluable for you to be the resource?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you said you were just looking to get your second investment property. So what you're doing right now for your family is amazing. But what you're doing for your family 10 years from now, what you're setting up for, you have kids, right?
Yeah, 2
What you're setting
boys.
up, what you're setting up for your boys in the future is also amazing. The opportunities that our parents, couldn't afford for us because they came in as immigrants and all, they had their own set of obstacles. But I think the most important thing to realize here is that we're not that generation. We're a whole new generation, and we have whole new obstacles. The American dream to us is a whole different dream, and we need to start getting at it and educating everybody on what it is.
I agree.
The line I love: generational wealth starts with one risk taker.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I agree with that 100%. And for you, Kevin, is that for his family.
Mm-hmm.
And his kids will have an example of someone who came from immigrant families, created generational wealth, and you've changed your lineage.
Mm-hmm, completely.
Yeah, I say yeah, like so, but it's just amazing. God is good. That's all I can say.
I think thinking about all that is humbling.
Yeah, definitely.
Like having that mindset, that train of thought.
You needed a moment, right, when you heard it? I saw it in your eyes. You were like, what? I did that.
Yeah. But like I said, it's we live in a very judgmental world. Because if I wasn't wearing this suit and people would see me, they would never think that I would have the success that I have right now. You know what I mean? Especially because my wife is total opposite. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, you would never expect us to be, a marriage. Right. Well, to most people. Because we still get looks here and there. But it's, God is good. That's all I can say. It's been an amazing ride, and we're so happy to have you guys here. It's been an honor. Anything else you guys want to leave us off with?
Sidney, you want to?
No, I just want to say thank you again for this, and anything that we could do or be a resource to any of you. Reach out to anyone on the board.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're here for any questions. If you want to start coming to meetings, join us. There's a lot of amazing things coming for this board.
Yeah. It's the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. So, yeah, get back to your roots, celebrate, talk to your families, educate them, bring up real estate, bring up generational wealth conversations more. And then also, too, like a lot of Latino professionals, let's start seeing some Spanish first-time home buying seminars. Like, let's start seeing more things in our language out there.
I completely agree.
Actually, next Thursday, there is something that we're having with our social equity committee. It's going to be at Adelante in Brentwood. It starts at, I think it's 6 p.m., but I could send you the flyer.
Yeah, send us the information.
And the topic is how to change your life through real estate, whether becoming an agent or somebody, a mortgage professional, purchasing their first home, being an investment. So that's why we're having it at Adelante in Brentwood, which is a nonprofit. It's a not-for-profit. So everyone's welcome. I don't have the link on me, but I'll send it over.
Just send us the information. We'll definitely put it out there.
I remember October 13th.
October 13th. What time?
Top producers panel.
2 to 5.
Top producers panel. Kevin is going to be there.
Thank
Don't
you,
miss
I'm really honored.
It's going to be amazing. Just stay a lookout on our Instagram for the link to purchase your tickets.
Instagram is the best resource for you to follow up with what we're doing. She does a great job of keeping it updated. If there's any events coming up, they're going to be highlighted there. All of our sponsors as well. And she honestly, I can't take credit for that. She's very interactive with that.
Thank you. I try my best to answer back to
Social
everybody.
media queen.
Yeah, she really is. She's wonderful.
And if you have people from other parts of like Long Island, there's different chapters too. There's a Brooklyn, there's a South Queens chapter, Westchester, Manhattan, Bronx. So we network with those chapters too.
Okay. So an expectancy of about 100 people?
100 people.
13?
Yes.
Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah.
Let's get those numbers up. We'll promote as much as we can as well.
Thank you.
Definitely
as well.
Thank you.
Where can people reach out to you, Suci?
Instagram, I am Suci Pedro, and Facebook, Suci Pedro as well. My phone number is 516-281-5433.
On Instagram, I'm Sid Rocks NYFL. On Facebook, Sidney Rodriguez. SidneyRodriguez.com. All my links will be there. 631-316-9091.
You guys can find me on Instagram. I'm Laura Guillen Realtor, and my phone number is 516-304-6400.
We're so honored to have you guys here. First day of Hispanic Heritage Month. This means a lot to us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for coming and
Thank
making
you
this
so much for
happen.
Thank you
having us.
guys.
Thank you
This
for
is
having us.
amazing. I
Wonderful.
love it.
Allowing us a platform to talk about NARUP and kind of discuss.
Of course. Our platform is your platform anytime.
Thank you.
So thank you guys. Episode 71.
In the books. And on top of that, don't forget, November 13th, Nassau COLISEUM, Team James against Team Kevin. It's going to be an amazing game, all for
St.
St.
I want
Jude's.
to say I'm Team Kevin.
I know you have to be Team Kevin. I get it. But make sure to get your tickets.
It's a great
and
cause.
Great cause. Going to be tailgate, the game, the Long Island Nets game, and then our game, and then post-party, after-party.
Quick
Information to
update.
follow.
So our goal is to raise $50,000 for these kids, suffering and
That's definitely
battling
doable.
cancer.
I love it.
Right now we're a little
at
over 28,000. So
Wow, that's
So we're getting there.
Wow.
we're getting there. A little less than 2 months. So we'd love to have you guys there in attendance.
Absolutely. I'll be
Absolutely.
there.
We'll be there to support.
All right,
And
awesome.
share the link so I know how to record.
Yeah.
No, Team James, we're gonna win. I'm telling you, back-to-back champs. But that was the latest episode of the Real Estate and Show podcast. We will see you next time.